Hello everyone, so welcome to another episode here on Gorbad Ironclaw. So we do have a lot of scrap and I'm just trying to, at this point, ensure that my best armies actually have all the upgrades. Okay, so especially this army, I'm very happy with this army from Oglok the Horrible. It's just insane what they can do actually with all the stuff. And he's still level 29, so he still doesn't have all the... If I equip, it still has a duration and a cooldown, and it has a cooldown of 1 turn now for lead the charge, which is really good. And I still have 3 turns for heavy metal marching. Okay, so more than enough for him to get level 30. And might as well be against Karl Franz. Yeah, let's have Oglok and Ragnik, my 2 special lords. Of course, it would give me a decisive victory, but I do want to fight Karl Franz, even if he just has a weird army combination. I mean, it's just slightly weird. So the Black Orcs and the Archers on the back, of course. I'm gonna get the reinforcements in like 40 seconds, so these guys will approach really fast. And then I have this flank of all the Orc Boar boys with the Black Orc Big Boss. Always have him in this army, because there's the lead the charge tactic. Even though it's not active, I just want to, remind you that he always, gives those buffs if he's nearby. So it's important that you get used to him being near the cavalry. So we start the engagement. And lucky for us, this is mainly the missile units. There's like some great swords, and Karl Franz is here. And some cavalry, but yeah, nothing that these spiders cannot deal with. I just gotta love the spider army as well, I'm using spiders and boars to defeat the Empire, literally. So Karl Franz is in the middle there. He's using the corruption of the crown. It's a more dissension effect, but I have heals. These guys are healing themselves. Fighting in melee. So I mean, Karl Franz, he actually is blocked by my legendary lord and hero. They're attacking him, one from the back, another one from the front. So yeah, he's not gonna go anywhere. And my infantry units, my spider riders are doing just fine. My infantry is now trying to push through. You can see how little damage these guys do to silver shielded Black Orcs. I mean, I'm just tanking their shots and attacking them, and I think they did nothing. And I actually managed to catch them, which is absurd, really. Let me take a sip of coffee. How are you guys doing, actually? Do you drink coffee? Do you drink beer? What do you drink when do you drink water? I hope you drink water. It's essential for human life. If you're not a human, well, it's essential for you as well, I guess, if you're not a human. So you can see this. I'm not speeding up, by the way. That's their speed. That's the swiftness that they have. It's just insane. He can't even run with Outriders or with Pistoliers, because I have way more speed than he has. I think, if not mistaken, that there's a cap of like 120 or something like that on flying units. So they're almost as quick. They're like 117, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. But you can see how fast they go. Like, honestly, while I was fighting the battle, I told these guys to come over and attack these guys, these archers. But they just arrived instantly. It's insane. These boars really have the Asterix power. When Asterix and Obelix drink the potion. Obelix doesn't, because he couldn't. But yeah, that was 73 lost against. So I lost 73, man, and Karl Franz skill 74. Traitor! 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 If you guys don't remember that scene from the Force Awakens, it's super cool. I don't love the Star Wars new movies, but many people will love. And of course, with books and everything, they'll explain it later on. For now, back to the Nemesis Crown. I really don't want that diplomatic relations penalty because I'm finally getting some alliances, and I definitely want, you know, a little bit of treasure in just getting rid of the crown for now. So yeah, some items that I got. I've shown you on the other video how I'll prioritize fusing them and such. So if I'm not doing that well, then allow me. So I'm just constantly checking, by the way. I'm constantly checking the red line to ensure that I've done it. By the way, Oglok the Horrible has a C in front of the name. That means completed. And I'm gonna upgrade it to CS, as in when it has the scrap. This is just some, you can use some ideas like that to ensure that you don't touch an army that is already decided, you know, because sometimes you can have an army and you go like, oh man, I forgot I needed that unit, or I needed that skill, or I needed whatever. And if you have these small ideas, like maybe put like as in you need to upgrade, you know, that sort of idea, it's just a small tip for you guys. Like for instance, Rachnik, it's not going to change anything there. Yes, he has 2 standard spiders and not the armor piercing ones, but I'll just leave them there until I make another army nearby that will use spiders. By the way, spiders are good, but not outside of Gorbad and or the tactics, and certainly not outside Rachnik. And you know, you kind of need the ones with armor piercing to make sure that that army is actually powerful. In fact, a powerful army is actually using a couple of the WOG units, the WOG mob units, like I'm doing here with the, where's the army? Is this guy? Hold on, let me upgrade this. I'm conquering the islands there, which is always nice. The boys, yes, for sure. So I'm conquering the islands there from Nurgle, and then I'll sue for peace. And I really don't need those islands. I just don't want Nurgle to have a solid base to attack me anytime he wants. I want to delay that, you know, and I want to have as little as possible of enemies there. And that's famous last words, because that's not going to happen. Spoiler alert. So yeah, I can already sue for peace, but I really want to do that only if I can conquer Dragonfang Mount. That'll be great. And for now, yeah, it seems fine. I'm just assigning the skills that are left, and I'm going to do some building up, etc. One of the things that I wanted to mention, one person actually asked me, well, more in a message, why am I doing still these Let's Play? You know, the Let's Play, not a lot of people will watch the full Let's Play or anything like that. Well, first, for those that actually watch and just want to know, sometimes they're stuck in the middle of a campaign and they'll just watch an episode of the middle of a campaign and try to see if they get some tips. But at the same time, because it's very easy for me to have the resource to go in and say, hey, this army is working for me at this turn. Oh, what is the army? And then I can go into the video myself and can check out the army and say, hey, this is the army that I was using at turn 130 or turn 100 or turn 50 to deal with X, you know, and always that's really helpful, you know. So it's sometimes like a database. That's what I mean. I should have just said that. So Wood Elves are finally coming in for me. So this is, if they're sending so many armies, I gotta think, I mean, I hope they don't have too many armies. I'm predicting that they have like at least twice as much. But it's time to start letting them split up. You can fight these in 2 ways. Either you have Lightning Strike and it's very boring, honestly, because you're gonna out-resolve a lot of stuff. Or you can ambush a lot, you can retreat when necessary, you can let them go on siege, and then it makes some something that I find really fun is minor settlement or capital settlement battles where I know that I'm going to lose, so I have nothing to lose, and then I focus fire maybe one specific army weakness, like maybe I'll kill their artillery, maybe I'll kill their flying units. So, and I've done this on this playthrough, actually I will do this on this playthrough. Like there's going to be a point where they conquered a lot of territories, and I fought every single one of them to try and kill their, like, a dragon, for instance, that they were bringing in. Because the AI will typically send in those single entities against you, and will lose them very easily, you know? Okay, I have to go towards Altdorf. I gotta conquer it so that I can get the Warlock. And it's ill defended, which is great. Get 1,900 from raiding. Dude, that's a lot, actually. Oglok is just gonna move in. He can barely... I can actually raid in Gorbad as well. I have no problem whatsoever raiding my own friend here, Zinch. Because eventually I'll have to fight them all. I want to conquer the whole map, but of course that will be... that's where I'll have my fun, and I won't show you. I'll just show you basically... Actually, I'll just show you basically the highlights when I conquered the whole map. But one thing that I wanted to do is actually a video where I explain how to conquer the whole map a little bit more efficiently. You know, for those that want that. Of course, people will know, oh, of course, you're going to use Lightning Strike. Well, no, you don't need to. I don't use Lightning Strike at all, and I conquered the whole map. It's more like how many armies do you bring for each theater of war, and how to correctly identify how many armies are you going to need to fight. Because that's something that is very intuitive to me, and sometimes I miss it out, and that's why you see me struggle. So, it's very intuitive, and you screw up. That's kind of it. But no. Sometimes it's very intuitive to me to go like, oh, I need around 4 armies to do this, you know, to conquer the empire. I need about 4 armies, you know? And why am I doing that? Because there's a point where you have to split, and there's only one point where you have to split, and then I'll send 2 armies one way, 2 armies another way, after fighting the main forces of the empire, you know, or something like that. Or for instance, for Norska, you need to conquer with 4 armies, or you need 3 armies, you know, that sort of idea. I want to perhaps compile all those tips and showcase some examples, either from my Malachi campaign or from this campaign. And yeah, and you're going to think, oh, it's going to take quite a while to go for full map completion. I'll say 100 turns. 100 turns more, like a turn 230, maybe turn 240, I'll have it. Okay, so this is jumping in a little bit ahead, and what we have is I conquered the whole places here, all the places here, and now I'll sue for peace. Because it's not like I can finish him. Oh, I have the big lads there. Please don't forget. Please don't forget. I think I forgot.
The tribe's ready.
Oh, no. Yeah. Sneaky stabbers. He needs them. Yeah. It's very difficult on some army compositions that I didn't prepare. You know, at one point I just start automating those. You know, I'm not going to do like I did in the first 80 turns, you know, showcase exactly what I'm building and what units and what I'm thinking. I think I've done a good job at it. Let's get some gold from Nurgle. Nurgle is surprisingly very easy to just persuade to go for peace. I wouldn't expect that from the Chaos faction, but it's kind of fun that they all have kind of like their personalities, like Scarbrand certainly wouldn't. So I'm fine with that. Okay, what I need maybe speed. Yeah, I don't have wolves, I don't have spiders, so the speed is good. I like those buffs. They're not many, you know, they're not really powerful, but they're meaningful, you know. If you don't have, you know, 10% speed on the whole army is always good, you know, it's always good, so it's something nice to do. So I'm thinking that I can reach Altdorf. Let me see if he's defending it. There is one army that's mainly Luminarchs. That's easy, actually. So what I can do here is just surround Altdorf. It's likely going to be an auto-resolve. I have to fight some of these sieges to showcase to you. But I never seem to find like a good one that I just want to fight and engage and wait out a little bit. And that's one problem for me with sieges, is that the auto-resolve is too powerful for it. For me, auto-resolving a siege would have to maybe have like a 20% discount on what you gain from it. Like if you fight it yourself, you'll gain some extra benefits or something else, or a chance to loot, to specifically loot and search for items, you know, now that they've done an item rework. You know, anything that would create the situation of, a siege is more than just a standard battle with walls. Because that's what have they done. They picked what worked for the standard battles and just added walls and went, oh, okay, I guess we can do that. I need 100 for this guy. Do you have anything here that needs? No, everything is completed. Okay. And Nobber, I'm still not gonna go for him. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the big lads. Can't believe that he still didn't have the big lads for the trolls. And the Ragnarok spiders, oh god. Sometimes that can happen, because the worst part is when you start focusing, for instance, on, and this can happen to you all, when you start focusing on, oh, now I'm gonna go in the yellow line, and you just wanted like something there, like you just wanted the ability, you know, rally ability or whatever, and then suddenly what you have is that you are still missing some red line skills, and that's important to note, you know. So I'm predicting that he either is hiding or he's moved otherwise in some other places, you know. So I want to be here ambushing. Yeah, I think so. And I want to upgrade this Skaven Blight as best as possible. Miragliano, he's attacking me actually, so there's no point actually doing that. Yeah. Because that's the thing. Sometimes I'm not going to show you every single battle, but count on, if they attacked me, I defended it myself. I didn't showcase it because it will be just like... You've seen examples of this, okay? But typically I would like to show some of these minor battles, but they're almost always like the same. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna just try to kill the units that are important, like the units that will fall easily. Artillery, you know, if you have anything fast, maybe the AI leaves the artillery alone and suddenly you move in. Or if you're focusing maybe specific monstrous infantry or single entity, anything that you say, if this is not in the army, it's a problem for any other army of mine to deal with, you know. So I'm still at war with plenty of foes. I'll have to stop the war against Reichland at one point and go after Wissenland, because I really don't like that I'm bypassing Wissenland to go towards Reichland. You know, it's not a good way to fight, and it's actually important that I start preparing for that, because if I can prepare for that, I can eliminate most of Wissenland's territories, if not all of them, really fast, like in 2-3 turns, and then suddenly he doesn't have anything. For some reason, this scout is like, he has like twice the movement range. I don't know why. You're gonna see how ridiculous the movement range of this guy is. And it seems like every time that I reload, I think it's sometimes it's ridiculous. There's gonna be a time that I'm gonna pass him to the other side of the map, and he reaches in 2 turns. So it's insane, really. He's like using land. You don't need to use the sea lanes with that guy, that's for sure. Okay, I just wanted to confirm. Tricky, do you have everything? I think so. So let's go for choppers. Yeah, because look at that. That's the range of the scout, of that typical dude. And the other one has like 3 times this. It's insane. But okay. I'm always, as you note, oh, you're on a deficit. Yes, you can be on a deficit. You can be on a deficit as long as you're having a lot of fights away. And you can always save up some money on buildings. Okay, like I have money if I need, if I would be bankrupt, for whatever reason. And if I don't have battles to do, I would just stop some buildings from doing. And there's a hidden rule. A lot of people will tell you this sort of like, if you're turn 100, stop building, or at least just go for anything that gives gold, and that's it. But I like to go with gold, replenishment, and garrison building everywhere, at least, and that's just my idea. But I'll speak about more tips and everything on the next episode. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye-bye.